Hey y'all, it's Melissa at Twin Oaks Farm Poultry. Thank you for joining us here on our YouTube channel, and we are on day 4 of watching the progress of our flock of 305 Cornish rock cross meat chickens. So I am in the meat bird production barn this morning. It's a Saturday morning. It's nice outside. It's about 79 degrees inside our meat bird production barn. So it's a barn that's open to the outdoors. So going by that, I'm making the logical conclusion that it's about 79 or 80 degrees outside at the moment, and we're close to noon, late August, and rural Southeast Ohio, USA. So it is supposed to get around 90 this afternoon. So the temperatures probably will climb today. So in this video, we're going to take a quick look. I'm actually looking at the flocks I'm speaking. I should be looking at y'all. But we are going to take a quick look at the flock. We have some updates of data points that we record on our production tracking board that's here in the barn. So we'll look at that. And the birdies are really doing well. We started with 305 on Wednesday, and Saturday we still have 305. So we've had a busy week. In addition to our birds, we had some things that were very important to us to be available for here at the end of the week, even after our birds moved in. And at the end of the week, in one 24-hour period, we ended up driving 8 hours, being awake the entire 24-hour period, and driving 8 hours of that 24 hours. And so it's kind of like lag. It's going to probably take me 3 or 4 days to recover from that. It's not like it was 20 years ago, you know. So we earn our birthdays, but we feel the mileage that comes with them too, you know. So I thought we'd go ahead and just try to do this video. But these birdies are doing good, and something exciting today in the barn is we have it more opened up. So as you know, as the birds grow, we can open the barn up a little more. We still want them safe from predators, so we use precaution with that. But that's some of the things we're going to look at. So thank you for joining us. As always, please feel free to use the comments to interact with us and with our channel through our videos. And I hope that if you are interested in things like producing your own food, and if you have family and friends and acquaintances who are interested in that, please share about our channel, because ultimately that's what our work with raising Cornish rock cross meat chickens is about. It's about knowledge of being able to have ways to produce our own food, and that's, I believe, going to become ever increasingly important. And being able to either produce our own food or source it locally, like through farmers where you live, is the best way to get minimally processed or unprocessed and wholesome, nutritious food. So that's always a skill set that we can work to build up and help each other to build up. So let's take a look at the flock. Thanks for joining us. Please subscribe. Please encourage others to subscribe and help us grow our subscribers to 1,000 plus. We are working really hard to try to do that. So glad you're here. Let's look at the birds, because that's the fun part. That's what's cute. So I've got a chair that I keep here in the barn, and I was sitting here observing the flock. So some things going on this morning is we filled feeders. So that has been done. And so I've got the feeders there around. We're still in the chick feeder trays, and we've put the hinge tops on them. So I've got those basically around the perimeter of their brooder pen, and they can go to those and eat. So I wanted to show you though what happens with these chick feeder trays. So here's one I took out when I started filling trays to show you this is what happens. So I've already unlocked the tabs, and you just open it up. So they kick a lot of bedding into it. Y'all can see that. So this is all their bedding material that's laying on top. They've kicked it in because look, see how they use the feeder tray? They do stick their heads through there, but they walk on it and stand on it and jump over top of it. And oftentimes there's a lot of them at the feeder. Here's one where you can kind of see they formed a row there, and they'll actually form a row down both sides of those feeders to eat. So they end up kicking a lot of bedding into it. So what we do when it's time to fill them is I open those tabs up, and I just I scrape all that out. I'm going to put it back down in their brooder. So we scrape all that out. So I'll clean that up better, okay? So then after we've cleaned it out, like they had eaten this down to about half full in the tray. So we basically try to shove all of that to one side so that we keep, you know, the old where hopefully they're getting to it and eating it. But then we just, let me get this tab unlocked. We just refill the whole tray. Okay, so and we fill it super full, and then we put them down in there. So I'll get those in there. And we did open so here's their feed. So we had one bag open, emptied it. So I opened a second bag of feed today. So we are on our second bag of feed on day 4, working with 300 Cornish Rock Cross meat chickens. We're going to fill waters. So we have 8 waters in the pen. We're going to go ahead and do a vitamin and electrolyte supplement, and I'm going to show you what we're going to use. We get this at our favorite feed mill, an independent feed supplier here, Beverly Feed and Supply, where we live. And incidentally, our middle son works there, and we have a working relationship with the folks at the mill that is integral to our operation. So we're going to use this, a water-soluble powder concentrate. So it's basically like granules of vitamins and electrolytes. It does have instructions on the back, but I basically just do some math to figure out how much to use, and what I'll end up doing is doing about a teaspoon per gallon of water. So we'll put a teaspoon in each of these waters and fill it full. And sometime I'll have help with the camera and we'll demonstrate actually filling the water. But like, I have to pick it up and take it outside and empty the tray, just kind of like dump it, because that'll come out of the tray, and then flip it upside down, and this hinges off of it. It's threaded in there, and not hinges, I'm sorry, unscrews off of it. So it's threaded there. So I take this off, and this is sitting upside down then, and you fill water in this end, and then you thread this back onto it and flip it this way, and it's full. And we'll add, like I said, we'll add a teaspoon of the granules. We'll put that in. And what's one thing that's important with the vitamin and electrolyte supplement that you're doing in the water, you really want that to be fresh. You don't want it to be sitting and stagnant. So whatever you mix up, you really want to see your birds consume within 24 hours when you're using it with poultry. And that would really apply across species. This can also be mixed into feed. We don't do it that way. For other species, that might be a better way to do it. But for poultry, we can put a teaspoon per gallon of water. So we'll do that. We'll probably do that for however long it takes us to use the packet, which may be probably 4 days, I'm guessing. Maybe 3 or 4 days. We'll see. So anyway, but we'll just use up one packet and see how they're doing. And it's just kind of a booster to help them with any environmental stress, you know. So we generally don't feed it or give it throughout. I mean, it's kind of personal preference, but that's what we're going to do. And you can tailor that to what you want to do. So the other thing that went on in here is, you know, we have 5 heat lamps. And remember, I told you we're about 79 degrees in the brooder. And we actually have 5 heat lamps in there. And you can see that one furthest back, I turned it off. So we're kind of guessing that as the temperature climbs today, we may actually turn off some of the other heat lamps. So it'll be interesting to see how we proceed. But see, they're spread out around the brooder pen. And we check our corners back there to make sure no birds got back in the corners and need a rescue. So then I also wanted to show you, we got that doorway open and this doorway open, and they have those panels, like you can see that panel there. It's basically like hardware mesh, or it's real rigid though and strong. So nothing can come in at ground level into our barn there. So the chicks are doing really good. You can see they are still utilizing the heat lamps there. I think I'm running out of recording time, so I want to show you our board. We did open up a second bag of feed. So we're into just over 50 pounds of feed with them in 4 days for 300 birds. Nothing else has changed there. And we're just keeping track of how many chicks and the temperatures. That's the outdoor temperature. And in the next video, we'll talk more about how we gauge helping keep the temperature comfortable for them by observing the bird's behavior. So thanks for joining us. Many blessings to y'all. I hope you have an excellent week. We take Sunday off from posting media, but we'll be back on Monday. So God bless you from all of us at Twin Oaks Farm Poultry in rural Southeast Ohio, USA. And may all of your chicken dinners be winners.